seen some people, but not entirely sure, as Flash was also sticking 4 men together for this late invade, as you mentioned. So G2 will stick their duel lane early in the bot side, but Flash will look to steal away a buff. Jankos already over to the other side of the enemy jungle, though.
Seems like they're splitting the map here. Maybe they're happy with vertical jungling because it means there's no backup for Heimerdinger and Alistair. If there ends up being some... For now, at least, Jankos is going to be jungling almost exclusively on the top side.
But it will give Hyunwoo and Wadid early priority on the wave, and you can see the pushes in full effect from this Heimerdinger. I'm excited to see how well Betty and Solak will be able to hold their own in this lane, and as you identified, Papa Smithy, this is a big bruiser bot lane, and their ability to stick to the targets is what I think is so strong, especially once Betty completes a couple of items. You imagine that a Rylai's is going to come through somewhere later on in the draft, but I think the focus for Hyunwoo is just farm, farm, farm. He's very reliant on getting things like the Lost Chapter before he really commits to any big trades.
Even the skill order can be a little bit all over the place. From what I said, W max was the most often, but the cone, the E, was also can be taken just to try to push the turrets and try to poke them from range, because once level 6 comes around, 2 melee champions have no fun at all when that evolved turret comes down and makes life a bit of a hell.
It'll certainly be tough, as we did see Perks and Maple trading a little bit there. Good stun there from Hyunwoo, though, does get the laser charge up, but he kicks Sword Art out of the way, pulverizes Betty for a bit of extra trade damage, and Sword Art eats a turret, and is going to spit it out towards Wadid.
Ideally, Wadid just wants to headbutt Betty every time he tries to approach the wave with his W on, to stop him building up any of his passive, of the shielding here, as you see, just time and time again, because keeping up full shield is so important for Betty, to just be able to ignore all the annoying chip damage from the turrets.
The wave clear from Betty is actually pretty significant. And again, we talked about the shared experience not affecting Betty. He's now hit that level 3 mark, and he has control of the wave as Hyunwoo has no turrets left. So Mordekaiser so far feeling pretty comfortable in these early levels, but also want to keep our eyes on the junglers as well. You talked a little bit about it, Papa Smithy, the fact that G2, they had to go up towards the top side, given that their blue was invaded upon. Jankos is actually making his way down towards the bot side of the map, and right now, very little vision has been invested from Flash Wolves to protect this pushing Mordekaiser.
And also, they're going to need some jungle help, because Wadid goes in, he might not get out. And speaking of Wadid...
Yep, does get a good black double pop, going to kick one back at Sword Art, they're trying to grab.
Might not get out.
To protect this pushing Mordekaiser.
And also, they're going to need some jungle help, because Wadid goes in, he might not get out. And speaking of Wadid...
Yep, does get a good black double pop, going to kick one back at Sword Art, they're trying to grab, but he does flash out of the way. Jankos with a double belly bop. He's going to get 2, but Sword Art with it about is able to save Betty. Yep, does
the bot side of the map, and right now, very little vision has been invested from Flash Wolves to protect this pushing Mordekaiser.
And also, they're going to need some jungle help, because Wadid goes in, he might not get out. And speaking of Wadid...
Yep, does get a good black double pop, going to kick one back at Sword Art, they're trying to grab, but he does flash out of the way. Jankos with a double belly bop. He's going to get 2, but Sword Art with it about is able to save Betty.
Able to get away, that they expend the flash to make it happen, which could be the sort of thing Tahm Kench can prey upon. They believe Talia's bot side, good read by G2, so they don't go any further, but no kill can be picked up by the side of G2's bot lane.
He had a couple of summon spells, though the flash is gone from Sword Art. Betty has to use his exhaust. Wadid traced his flash to set up that play initially, but I like the proactivity from Jankos. We heard from Deficio. Is this the kind of player that can make the mental reset happen already in this early game? He's trying to play around the duo that won their first game at Worlds.
G2 letting the solo lane stay pretty stable, as you can see. Wonder and Hanabi has been pretty even on CS. Hanabi just trying to get as many shots as he can. Wonder doing a nice job getting the lockdown, but slight level lead right now for Hanabi means that Wonder can't really do too much more after using all his cooldowns, but he's going to go back at another knock-up here. Does feel like it's kind of a losing battle versus Ogre, because he always seems to get more health back.
One of the advantages that Wonder has is he saw the jungler of Mujin down towards the bot side of the map, and the thing about this matchup is many pros will say that for the Aatrox to be able to win out, he needs to use his abilities aggressively, and you can't do that if the jungler is obviously playing around the top side of the map, so having that extra information allows him to play safe. As you see more skirmishing down bottom.
Another good stun by Hyunwoo, and actually going to keep going for it. Wadid available to be devoured by Sword Art, but Hyunwoo going to keep him at bay with his turrets.
Turrets being up so important, otherwise Sword Art might go aggressive, and the Ignite is still up on his side. I think you got the right read there, Red Vedius on the top side. For now, at least, Wonder is able to manalessly trade, not worry about the enemy jungler, and overall just being able to out-resource Hanabi. As lane goes on and some shops come in, maybe the texture of the lane will morph a bit.
Speaking of, not too sure exactly what's going on in bot lane, but it does feel like Mordekaiser is able to, again, using that experience, uniqueness in the bot lane, and also just some generally good pushing power, is at least keeping them back towards their turret, although the CS is staying even. Perks also dancing around, look for a quick stun onto Maple, but does not grab it. But again, gets out safely without taking too much in the trade.
Imagine he's a couple of minions away from level 6, which is why he made that play. And yes, discussed the ping as we mentioned it. Perks happy to bide his time, has the Ignite in this lane, no cleanse coming through. Very much focused on the solo kill. It's one way to lead your team from the front, and it's the way that Perks always seems to try to lead G2.
Yeah, he was a big carry early in the day. His Akali was why they were able to get that comeback win against PvP. His Lissandra not quite as impactful in their earlier game against the Flash Wolves, but now that he is back on a carry, I feel like that he's back in his wheelhouse. He's in a position to lead his team to the quarterfinals for the first time in G2 esports history, but there is still a very angry Flash Wolf standing in their way as we see a bit of jungle attention down towards the bot side.
See what can get done here by Mujin. Jankos also in the area near the blue buff, but Talia just going to walk in and check it again, pushing bot lane, gives him a lot of freedom. Vanguard's edge onto Maple. Perks apparently just showing off.
We'll call it a zoning ultimate
Yeah,
there.
we'll do that.
Just wanted to see, just try. Realized he was under turret, so wasn't going to make any plays. It's kind of damned if you do, damned if you don't with Mujin in particular, because you always want to come bot lane either to gank or poke away the turrets. Speaking of it, which...
Again, when he kicks away Betty with that shed shield on. Perks again going onto Maple, but he already used his ulti. Good amount of damage, both running low on mana as well, so Perks is trying to be a nuisance.
Maple doing pretty well in the 1v1 though. Even after Perkz is playing as aggressively as he is, he stayed even in farm, and he's able to pick up his tier as well. He did use his CP earlier on in the matchup, but now Jankos is actually hanging around. He's just getting a bit of vision towards the bot side, but Mujin is here to help with the wave clear as well.
No mana soak, so recall timing for Maple. That's going to be something Perkz can take advantage in to get a good recall of his own. Might be Hexdrinker or Merc Treads the first purchase. Top lane is completely even, so 8 minutes in, no closer to knowing if it'll be G2 or Flash Wolves joining Aatrox during a Freak of Freaks. It's been a long day already in the next round.
And what a crazy day it has been as well, because when you kind of look at how things have played out, G2, for all intents and purposes, should have been knocked out of this group. And if it wasn't for PVD bringing in their sub-jungler, finding the upset win against Flash Wolves and giving G2 this other opportunity, it would be Flash Wolves locking in that quarterfinal.
And I think we actually have to talk about the fact that Drake did not go to the side of the Mordekaiser team. When we had that Mordekaiser meta earlier in the season, we understood that if the Mordekaiser team was able to monopolize Drake, get the Ghost Spirit down, suddenly those turrets quiver in fear. Just a single breath from the Drake, you take the turret and you rotate from there. If you lose the Mordekaiser Ghost, if you can't pick up any of the Drakes, it does slow down the advance and makes Flash Wolves much more accountable in the 2v2.
And I will say that I like that G2 are at least drawing people down to the bot sides. It's giving Perkz more agency to play aggressive, and this is Tianling Woody's wheelhouse. Just play in the bot side, try not to die, and absorb whatever pressure comes your way. Jankos, though, also been pretty active alongside Mujin, but first blood still available for the taking as Hanabi is roaming, and this might even be a lane swap here. Seen this once already from Flash Wolves.
So he sees a Negatron cloak purchase come out of Perkz, might be a delayed Wits End later, and they just say, okay, that's, the better part of 750 gold spent on magic resist. That's lane swap. But speaking of lane swaps, though, Perkz and Jankos are looking for a gank up top. Maple looking like a tasty target.
This is apparently the solution. You lane swap with me, we dive you under the tower. Well done, pop Jankos with the belly box. Vanguard's edge, and Perkz steps in for first blood.
Gotta love it when a plan comes together. Attempt made by Flash Wolves, but that little caveat
Blood
spent on.
Seen this one. Jankos, though, also been pretty active alongside Mujin, but first blood still available for the taking as Hanabi is roaming, and this might even be a lane swap here. Seen this once already from Flash Wolves.
So he sees a Negatron cloak purchase come out of Perkz, might be a delayed Wits End later, and they just say, okay, that's, the better part of 750 gold spent on magic resist. That's lane swap. But speaking of lane swaps, though, Perkz and Jankos are looking for a gank up top. Maple looking like a tasty target.
This is apparently the solution. You lane swap with me.
Yeah, that's 750.
Here. Wait. Jankos, though, also been pretty active alongside Mujin, but first blood still available for the taking as Hanabi is roaming, and this might even be a lane swap here. Seen this once already from Flash Wolves.
So he sees a Negatron cloak purchase come out of Perkz, might be a delayed Wits End later, and they just say, okay, that's, the better part of 750 gold spent on magic resist. That's lane swap. But speaking of lane swaps, though, Perkz and Jankos are looking for a gank up top. Maple looking like a tasty target.
This is apparently the solution. You lane swap with me, we dive you under the tower. Well done, pop Jankos with the belly box. Vanguard's edge, and Perkz steps in for first blood.
Gotta love it when a plan comes together. Attempt made by Flash Wolves, but that little caveat of there being a roam opportunity from Perkz allows them to pick up the first blood, and no answering kills available for Flash Wolves.
But now Mujin heads towards the bot side of the map. Mordekaiser, another champion that's really great at setting up these dives, and now with 3 members towards the bot side and no response from the G2 top half of the map, Flash Wolves will be able to zone Kanan and Wadid away from a full wave of farm.
Nice job there, but Kanan just picked up one with a grenade, so barely able to can do here.
But by the Raiders build, Flash Wolves are feeling so pressured around the bot side, but nice little pathing for a counter gank by Jankos. Forces Mujin out and means no change in the 2v2.
So slight early game goal lead going in favor of G2. G2 are going to continue with the standard matchups that they've been given now, with Hanabi now playing up against Perkz. That hasn't changed his aggressive tendencies. Interestingly, Jankos is actually just investing everything towards the bot side of the map. Mujin is still here, and Jankos needs to respect that.
So I tried for a flash play. That seems like a nervous play by Sword. He's trying to play.
Oh, but Jankos did just not as a result. Played in.
To say that both sides have the options to play the 1-3-1. Think about Kha'Zix versus the amount of turret damage.
The issue, get a few, whether it's 3 of them way through, no true ranged auto attacker, is going to be almost impossible. Yes, Mordekaiser in the lane, and especially as the game goes on, it's going to be trickier as top side.
1v1 here starting off TP.
Time to impact. But as the game goes on, it's going to be trickier as top side.
1v1 here starting off TP in from G2, going to make it an unfair fight. Perkz, there's nobody going to execute him. He's looking for a solo kill, able to grab it. Didn't even need the TP in his bot side. Still some action brewing. Mujin here ready with the ulti, but does not pull the trigger.
Beautiful stuff there from Perkz as he finds himself a solo kill. Hanabi is struggling right now in this lane. We talked about how he would be able to perform on the Urgot, and right now things are not looking good in the early game.
If you opt into the skill matchups in situations like this, you look a bit silly. That was against the Negatron hook, now Wits End of the Aurelia. Open Prime, no counter kill available. The rich get richer when it comes to Perkz, and for Hanabi, he's just left trying to pick up the pieces.
And you mentioned it, that dodge of the ultimate from Perkz is really what shifted the fight in his favor, because if that lands, Hanabi can feel much more confident in committing to the fight, knowing that if he can just get Perkz to that benchmark, that is a guaranteed kill, but he uses his Q elegantly, and he walks away with a solo.
And here's G2 transferring some of that pressure that Perkz has generated here to the bottom side of the map, where he's actually going to start the dive on, pops Unbreakable Will. Here comes the dive, Wounded down here as well, looking for Betty, he's going to flash away. So that taking a little too much damage, but Hanabi is here. Unfortunately for Betty, he is not, as Wounded does finish off that kill.
Bit of a clean-up crew here for G2. They can't get a second kill just yet.
Sword Art in the rush, but they can't get him in time as he actually Abyssal Voyages out towards G2's turrets. When he wants it, flash, auto blast going. Sword Art's booking it in towards the base as fast as he's left.
I don't know if he can...
Woodid. Scenarios like that, G2 went for the turret. I assume they would just use the ult to try to represent turret damage. I often see here on and just drop the ult coming down, as we can see. The play starts off innocently enough, but the moment that Wunder's able to walk down, Woodid starts to engage, and while they don't get the maximum, it's another positive play by G2.
Cast in a lot of the early Perkz in a side lane is extremely strong. Up against Hanabi, it feels like that he's the one with the pressure.
While usually we focus on the Rift Tower taking a turret, I want to see them find a way to get this Inferno Drake and fit that
flash out of the body slam from Jankos, who did expend the flash as well. Try and fight for it, Chains latch, but only hit Hanabi.
Pushing out bot, hook, advantage that you're at, kicks off.
This is probably only line that Flash will break. Let's see if they can actually
play defense, but the Drake will go down more than fast. mod.
And they're showing a lot of control but mid.
Yep. Pick up their second Drake of the game and again deny it from the mod.
And they're showing a lot of control but mid.
Yep, looking for it here. Perks does get the disarm. Vanguard already there, and Wonder just there onlooking does get an assist, but
Rotate people and once this. Consider Perks remain flash walls, and G2 as a team are looking for more.
he's a franchise player, and right now he is playing like it, as G2 will actually get themselves the their Drakes that are not reflected in
the match for provide more of the AD threat. So back in close to that scenario.
They need to be setting up around these fight outside. Means slowly G2 will gain more and more control.
European fans should definitely be confident about the position their team is right now, but we know how quickly those scenarios can change.
Very true.
It feels like G2 control their own destiny, as all Flash Wolves can do is plonk down some control wards and hope G2 comes to them.
If we've learned anything today, though, Papa, Fate's turn real quick in best of ones here, especially when so much is on the line. G2, though, are trying to get things pushing through the midsection. Hyeonin is doing his typical thing of hanging out in mid lane and pressuring some turrets.
But he doesn't have much to care about, just falling in with what Betty has said. He sees Mordekai's Tom Tench, the Talia is showing, but not going to be all-inning onto Hyeonin in the backline, stopwatch available, level 2 ultimate available. So he's happy to be there, monopolize solo experience and gold. G2, in the meanwhile, just claim the blue buff, just play it all standard, and there's very little Flash Wolves can do to impact this damn Heimerdinger.
Hyeonin's like quietly 1v2ing this lane at this point, as we did. We'll actually return to the mid lane and again cheer on his lane mate by dinging the cowbell once more.
Face your time, do you remember the last time we cuffed Heimerdinger in an elimination game?
Do I ever?
It was 6 years ago, but
Yeah,
that was
6 years ago.
That was Mandu, baby. Fu Mandu on
Wow.
Jungle
Yeah,
Heimerdinger.
That's the throw at Jungle Heimerdinger?
That was a
Kind
YouTube
of.
video that got a lot of hits.
Yeah.
You can watch that one later. Let's focus on the fate of Europe and the LMS right now. But the irony is not lost on me.
No, and there's the big turret from Hyeonin. This was not around last time we casted this champion, but turret damage is still good. Does chip away, and again, Hyeonin can
Again, looking for pressure.
TP's in, holding pattern stays. G2 should be happy.
And see, Perks once again looking for pressure.
TP's in, Abyssal Voyage. Perks maybe a bit too fast. Good flash over the wall. Yanko's there, but here's Wonder to try and play cleanup on the other end of the fight. We need to come over as well. There's the fight looking decent. Betty is going to get chained up, but does flash the wall to safety.
A bit of a messy fight there from Perks as he initiates before his team is ready to follow. He commit.
Allows you to spare your blushes a little bit. Objective to being stuck at groups a couple of years in a row. Team. They look so comfortable coming into the day, but it's 2015 since they got out of the group stage.
And you think about how both these teams started this group stage. Flash was off to a dominant performance. G2 very quick to catch up, and many considered Afrika not being able to bounce back. But after their 3-0, it is now both these teams with so much hope in their eyes to make it further in the World Championship that have to fight for that final spot.
Well, we're about to have something spicy come up in the Dragon Pit in 50 seconds. Infernal number 2 is ready. And again, the Mordekaiser team has not gotten a single Drake so far in stacking Drake.
You just look at the page and see CS lead for Aatrox, CS lead for Aurelius, CS lead for Heimerdinger, and map control 9 control wards and try to make the enemy come to you because these scenarios don't seem to be suiting Flash.
Ult missed again. Perks though, he's getting chased down, but he's going to have to zip back to the wave, and he's out, kind of. Mugen's here, Abyssal Voyage in. Perks, going to have to play some real theatrics to try and get out of this situation.
A lane turret, and
The main goal holders of G2, Flash was just going to force the Baron.
That ward to the left of Baron though may give G2 the information they need to really put a stop to this play. Hyeonin throwing in grenades, he's with it in the mix of the fight. Hyeonin just trying to poke them out of the way. And again, they're going to try and go for it here with it a little too low, but they're doing it the big on Hanabi. Maple trying to flank around, but now Hyeonin's going to face aim for his jungler as Wunder with the World Ender. Still looking decent there. Oh, the knockup's almost there. But too low, but they're doing it the big on Hanabi. Wait. Hyeonin throwing in grenades, he's with it in the mix of the fight. Hyeonin just trying to poke them out of the way. And again, they're going to try and go for it here with it a little too low, but they're doing it the big on Hanabi. Poke them out of the way. And again, they're going to try and go for it here with it a little too low, but Hyeonin just trying to poke them out of the way. And again, they're going to try and go for it here with it a little too low, but they're doing it the big on Hanabi. Maple trying to... And Hyeonin throwing in grenades, he's with it in the mix of the fight. Hyeonin just trying to poke them out of the way. And again, they're going to try and go for it here with it a little too low, but they're doing it the big on Hanabi. Maple trying to flank around, but now Hyeonin's going to face tank for his jungler as Wunder with the World Ender. Still looking decent there. Around, but to try and go for it here with it a little too low, but they do it. Hyeonin just trying to poke them out of the way. And again, they're going to try and go for it here with it a little too low, but they're doing it the big on Hanabi. Maple trying to flank around, but now Hyeonin's going to face tank for his jungler as Wunder with the World Ender. Still looking decent there. Oh, the knockup was almost there, but he didn't have the third. They will take down Maple. Now Wonder looking decent there. Oh, the knockup was almost there, but he didn't have the third. They will take down Maple. Now Wonder has to book it, but he's still safe for now. Mugen Flash Q will pick up the cap on that kill.
What the fuck？ 我就是断线。What？ 但卡邦也太喜欢维修了吧！真是一款全宇宙最爱维修的游戏。